This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. This is our 14th example of solving a basic equation that contains a fraction. So we have 3x over 8. There's where the fraction is over here. Okay, a couple ways to do this. One way is to multiply both sides of the equation by the least common denominator to eliminate this fraction over here where the 8 is. So let's do it that way first this time. So I multiply both sides by 8 because that's the least common denominator. There's only one denominator. And let's see what happens here. The 8's cancel. So I have 3x equals 12 times 8. Now I could multiply that out, but I'm going to leave it as 12 times 8 for the moment, and here's why. My next step to solve for x would be to divide by 3, right? So we have 3 times x. We want to divide both sides by 3. So the 3's will cancel, right? And I'll have the just x equals. But over here, it's easier for me to reduce before I multiply. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, and I have 4 times 8, which is 32. Now, if you had multiplied 12 times 8 and got 96, you could do 96 divided by 3. You're still going to get x equals 32. So that's one way of doing this problem. So my first step was to multiply by the least common denominator of 8 to get an equation that had no fractions, and then I just divided by the coefficient of x. All right, second way. When you see that 3x over 8, you can pull and see what the real coefficient of x is. You could think of that as 3/8 x, or 3/8 times x equals 12. And then, to solve for x like we did in previous problems when we first started this series, we can multiply by the reciprocal of this coefficient of x. So if the coefficient is 3/8, the reciprocal is 8/3. So we have to multiply both sides by that. Now, I'm going to write this as 12 over 1. That helps some people. You don't have to do that. Optional. All right, so the 8's cancel, the 3's cancel. So I have x equals, and what's going on over here? The 3 goes into the 12 4 times. So I have 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. 32. So I get x equals 32. So I got 32 again. So there are two different options at least, and that isn't the only way you can do it. But those are two ways of doing it. So let's see if 32 is indeed the correct solution. All right, so here's our original equation. And so we're going to plug in 32 for x. So we've got 3x over 8. So we have to write that down. 3 times x. But the x is 32. Divided by 8. And simplify this. Now, you could multiply 3 times 32 if you want and get 96 divided by 8, and then do 96 divided by 8 and get 12. I think that's one way of doing it. Or you could cancel before multiplying. You could cancel the 8 into the 32 and get 4 and just say 3 times 4 and go directly to getting 12. Both of those are fine. And on the right hand side we have 12, so it checks. So that means this is the correct solution, x equals 32. So we can write it in the formal way, in braces, which is the way of denoting the solution set. This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.